My jaw is now hurting, like up here towards my ear, because I am clenching my teeth so much for like 10 hours a day, or however long I'm at my laptop writing, reading screenplays, taking notes on them now. I'll get into that. I don't even notice it while I'm doing it. I just, like, every hour or so, maybe longer, I'll just check myself, like all of a sudden become aware of my body and be like, oh crap, I can loosen up my mouth because I'm clenching my teeth. Hey everyone, I'm Angelo, homeless filmmaker in LA. Boy is now a, well, I don't know what to call it. For some reason, I won't get into it too much. I don't know what the reason is, but I'm saying I won't get into the issue too much, but has to do with, now it's affecting my finances. A lot of the banks are closed. I don't know what the hell for. Okay, I'll barely make it through it, I think. And now LA's closed down some bars because the pandemic is still out of control here. And now LA is like the hot spot of the country, whereas before we were doing pretty well, it seemed like, at least. And I've been writing a lot, working on my, just obsessively, like from the moment I get up, I'm like hurrying to shower outside in the street, get dressed, go exercise, eat, and then just get straight to work. Doesn't matter if I can get to my laptop or not. And by the way, I filmed a video last night. I'm kind of glad it didn't work. The sound didn't work on it. The Filmic Pro app is messed up. Now it won't even open. So I'm just using my phone's camera. But I was in the midst of such tension and anxiety when I filmed it. I wanted to get that moment on camera, but that's okay. Also, the camera, my phone camera, it wasn't great in the space I was in, so there's more sunlight here. Anyways, I've been so tense, like going from, oh, my writing's great, this is gonna, you know, be a great film, to holy shit, there's so many problems I didn't realize once I started writing the draft that in the outline I thought would connect everywhere. So I'm like, this draft is a brick wall. I got to go back to the outline, but I'm like, the outline is a brick wall. I got to go back to my notes. Just write ideas, notes. Fortunate, it was stressing me the hell out. I was so fucking like felt just oppressed by this need to fix this thing. Every moment that I wasn't, I'm like, something's wrong. This is terrible. I'm not doing it right. So I pushed myself to keep exercising for a while this morning. Eventually more ideas are coming. I could loosen up a little bit. It's important not to be too tense. You know, it's like an athlete. If you're tense, you're going to cause injuries. Or in anything, you can't be too tense. So I'm like, man, why am I not thinking of just, there's simple answers to this stuff? Because the stories that I study, even if they seem extremely complicated, they're very, very simple. The movies that I love. Doesn't matter what movie, all of them, they're so simple, and they keep one idea going and elaborate on that and expand on it. And I'm like, man, I'm falling into this trap now. I was doing research for the job one of the characters has, and I was getting anxiety just from that, because the job is the type of office job I would never fucking have in my life, and I would never want to do. And it was literally giving me anxiety just reading about it and taking notes about it. I'm like, man, I'm getting off track here. This is not nearly as helpful as I thought. And I was just miserable at it. And so I was so tense yesterday. And I'm like, there's an endless activity I could do right now. After this video, I'm going to be writing notes and checking if I can get into somewhere where I can use my laptop, because the libraries are still closed in LA. And what I decided is this. First of all, I'm like, okay, I'm stuck in my outline. I think I improved some things. I don't fucking know. Then I'm like losing all track of like space and time. I'm like, well, how do I even know anything's going to emotionally resonate? And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to outline some screenplays. I've read like 56, but now I need to get more out of them. Some I'm going to reread and outline and retype out for word what they do. Others I'm just going to start reading and outlining. So what I did first, I was like, well, first I want to go back to one of the early feature films, Girl Shy from Harold Lloyd, one of my favorite movies of all time, a silent comedy from 1924. one of the first romantic comedies, and Hal Roach directed it. Jobina Ralston co-stars, and I watched that yesterday, and I took notes with timestamps down to the second of how long each scene is, and I'm like, man, this is so incredibly simple, this story, and yet it's so powerful, and I don't know exactly how it works so well, because it's also, I mean, it's a silent film, so it can do some things sort of that, sound movies couldn't, but can't really get away with, or they'd have to, elaborate more on. But I'm like, how does this work so well? One scene, any given scene is setting something up that it never needs to be set up again. And here I am thinking, I got to do so much. I got to go back and forth to establish this and that. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why would anyone care? How is that going to affect them? This movie, it just shows. The one scene establishes it, and it assumes, and it's right, that the audience will care, the audience will get it, and move on. And that thing that was established, it carries through the whole movie. And I'm like, man, that's what I'm missing. And it was giving me anxiety, thinking like this outline I have is like a weight tied around my neck. And I'm like, I got to slow down. Nobody has to see this. One person did see it, but I can rework it myself. I filled up one notebook now, almost totally filled it up. Now I'm starting on another. So I outlined Girl Shy. Then I wanted to get into another movie, and I wanted to pick something special, So I picked Greg Mottola's script for Adventureland, starring Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart. Is it Kristen Stewart? Great movie, great screenplay. And I only got about 20 pages into it last night. I'm like, fuck, I'm tired. I was up since like 5 in the morning till like 10 at night. And I'm like, I got to sleep. I can't just, push myself too long to not sleep. So, and sleeping helps me, in every respect. I'm still getting over my dissociative disorder. I'm still not 100% recovered. But I'm getting there. It's good that actually the other day I got really depressed and upset about my screenplay, because that means I can feel those emotions again. So my goal is to be depressed. But I was outlining Adventureland down to the pages of, every beat, basically doing a beat sheet of it. And then it's great because it's like I've taken it apart to have the atoms and molecules of it and can just sort of absorb it. That's what I'm going to do looking at Girl Shy. I'm going to write more notes. So basically I'm in just a frenzy of needing to keep working on this stuff, keep writing. In the meantime, I still worry about, how am I ever going to recover totally from depersonalization, derealization disorder? How am I going to learn screenwriting proper? I really want to take some courses on it from some people I really like, but, I can't afford any of it. And I just learned so much from all of it. So, anyways, exercising, surprisingly, that's when a lot of ideas come to me. It's like they're constipated in me when I'm trying to write, but then they come loose when I loosen up and I'm exercising. So it's important to keep just doing stuff to help your writing, if you're a writer. And just keep looking at that outline and being open about it. That's the thing, not trying to squeeze every idea out so I'm in total control over it, but be open to the ideas that pop up, which is how the ideas first started coming to me for any of my screenplays, basically. Not all of them, but and from this, I want to be able to write maybe around 3 screenplays a year. It's not just going to be I'll be able to write this and then write 2 more. I really have to learn the craft even better and better, maybe for another year. And but however it works out, once I'm really into it, I want to be writing 3 screenplays a year. All right, and I got to keep making videos. Right now, the money situation's so tight, I'm not even worried about it. It's like, fuck, whatever. What can I do? I got a little money coming in. The bank's closing is not helping, and there's no announcement I've seen about why they've closed. And in the meantime, I barely have food. I ate 1 tin of tuna today and some peanut butter. This peanut butter with coconut in it, really nice. And I had my last protein drink. I basically have no money for anything. It's all literally the point where I cannot afford to drive anywhere, anything like that. But my car's working all right, and if nothing else, I'll film and I'll write.